All right. So Rufus, like many of you know him as a character that really wants to get in and do dive kick pressure and really pressure you with his dive kicks and rush you down. But Rufus, surprisingly, is also a very good keep away character. He can play this lame style, but yeah, he really excels when he gets in, right? But he can just as well play extremely lame, like against Grappler, for example. And yeah, he's got some very underrated neutral. He's got some good buffers with his jabs. He's got some good feints. Like, the mental stack against this character is very high, because you're so afraid of him dive kicking or jumping that you can't react to everything, and that's when he can walk up to you and just sweep you and from full screen. You see? So this character can play many different playstyles. His jump is also very long range, as you can see. He can jump over a fireball from full screen and get a conversion out of it. So throwing fireballs against Rufus can be risky. He can punish those and get a setup out of it. Like, he's a very versatile character, but where he really doesn't do well, I would say his defense is not very great once he wakes up. And also this range right here, his pokes are not very good, but there's the threat of dive kick. He can threaten with his dive kick at this range, which means even though he's not very good at this range, the fact that he can just dive kick and get in means that you have to respect him regardless. So character is scary. His jump range, like I said, very good. His walk speed is not the best, but he makes up for that lack of mobility with his dive kick. He can make up for that with his other mobility. He has some good normals to close the gap. But yeah, his focus is not the best. Like, it doesn't have a lot of range, as you can see. His dashes are not the best. Rufus doesn't use those anyways, unless it's for FADCs, so you won't have to worry about that. So yeah, if you want a character that has a really good rush down, but at the same time that can play the neutral well, keep away game well, but that suffers a bit defensively, I think Rufus might be your character. So let's talk about his normals. I'm gonna start with light kicks. So let's start with his crouch light kick. So Rufus's lights in general, they're extremely strong because all of them chain into one another. I can do them in no particular order and they will chain. Meaning that you cannot reversal and you cannot jump away from them. You cannot backdash, you can't do anything. It's a block string. Yo, stand light kick doesn't chain into crouch light kick? Okay, I thought it literally chained, but turns out it doesn't. This is, there's a gap here. Okay, so I take back what I said earlier. Rufus can chain his lights, but not off of stand light kick. If you want to option select for a backdash, you'll have to use crouch light kicks. And his crouch light kick is Rufus's most reliable low. Meaning, actually his crouch medium kick is good too. It can combo into into the tornado, but his crouch light kick is really good because that's how you will open up your opponent low. For example, let's say you get a jump in with a heavy punch. Your opponent blocks and is trying to jump away after. That's when you go low, like you can get a conversion. Like, you can, but yeah, it's gonna be your main way of opening your opponent, this crouch light kick. It's also Rufus's, I mean, it's a tie technically, but it's Rufus's quickest normal. It's a 4-frame startup, which is extremely quick for a button this range. Like, it's very good. And it's cancelable. So let's say I want to do three stand light kicks into crouch jab. It's not reliable. Like, let's try doing it from max range. See that? Actually, it's against Ryu, you'll be fine. But sometimes you'll hit this from max range and you won't be able to combo crouch jab. And that's when crouch light kick is better. But also the damage, like look, crouch light kick is 30 damage. Crouch light punch is better generally. So if you can do that, might as well do that. But crouch light kick has more range. So you can do this. And it's especially, you're gonna especially notice this during cross-up dive kick setups. Let me show you. No block. Actually, against Ryu, you'll be fine. But in general, you want to do this. In general, you want to do stand light kick into crouch light kick, because sometimes the crouch jab will whiff against some hitboxes. So crouch light kick more reliable. Yeah, crouch light kick, main low, chains into itself. Look, you can do 3 crouch light kicks into stand jab. And against characters that you can stand jab, but even crouching, this is insanely good. Like, for example, Ryu, yeah, you can. See that? You can't do this combo, though. Reliably. On Ryu, but let's say you're playing against a Zangief or something, you can do 3 crouch light kick, stand jab. At least you can do this one. So triple crouch light kick, stand jab, crouch jab. But yeah, 3 crouch light kicks is insane because it means, let me try 4. Oh, you can even do 4. But you can't link into crouch jab. It's only a chain cancel. And since you can't cancel a chain cancel, you can only link on it after it. You don't really get anything. But yeah, 3 crouch light kicks, in between which your opponent cannot mash, cannot backdash, cannot jump, is insanely strong. So this you wanna use a lot. So you can also do stand light kick, like close light kick into double crouch jab. Very strong. But yeah. Now, onto his close light kick. Like, this is also a 4-frame startup, but this is much stronger. I mean, it's different, but frame data wise, this is +3. So meaning like you can even micro walk in between it. You can use this to set up an instant dive kick to beat the crouch deck. You can throw after it. It doesn't have a lot of pushback. And on hit, it's +6. Meaning you can link it into heavy punch. You can link it into heavy punch here. There we go. It's a 1-frame link, meaning it's difficult, but this does some really good damage. That's how you get the corner carry, and then you can get your corner setups. Phoenix, you bring Street Fighter 4 back single-handedly. Oh, there are some other players doing some great stuff, but I'm trying to make guides, because I think the hardest thing for new players right now is to find resources to get into the game. So I'm trying to do that. Thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, stand light kick is gonna be your best friend as Rufus. That's gonna be your main tool for pressuring, because you're so plus after it. So yeah, use this button a lot as Rufus. Now, one of its most important use case of this button as well, it can be comboed into itself and then confirmed into a target combo. So let's set the dummy to random lock. See, the first crouch light kick didn't come out, so I didn't need to confirm the second one into target combo. There again, it was blocked, so I can throw afterwards. There again, the first one was blocked, so I couldn't confirm. There. The first one connected, so the second one comboed, and I immediately confirmed it with the heavy kick. So it's a stand light kick into stand heavy kick, and you can get an ultra after it. So see, there it was blocked. Bam. And that's a very important thing as Rufus that you want to be working on with the stand light kicks close up. Is this confirmed? You do 2 close light kicks immediately, and then if the first one hits, and then you confirm the second one into a target combo. Yeah, this is what you can get off of it. You can get a empty jump low after it, or if you delay your dive kick, you can get a cross-up dive kick here. This is very strong because you can delay the cross-up dive kick. It's very hard to see. Or you can empty jump throw. Or you can empty jump low. Like, it's very, very strong. But usually, if your crouch light kick's connected, you don't want to do the target combo into this setup unless you know it's gonna connect. But if your two stand light kicks connect, you want to confirm it into close heavy punch. This is your main, your bread and butter. So this is the combo you don't want to miss. Even I miss it because it's a 1-frame link. But if you practice enough, it should be easy enough as to where you don't miss it. Because this link is so quick that you can get the muscle memory to kick in. So you can do it even with your eyes closed. And make sure to plink the heavy punch as well. Yeah. Close light kick, very important button. And especially when you do 2 in a row and then you confirm. Like either into a heavy punch, or if you have ultra, you confirm into ultra with the target combo. So yeah. Now, far light kick. This move you're not gonna be using often. Oh yeah, here's the use case. Like, remember when I was talking about how sometimes you're too far to combo into crouch jab? The far light kick is the best example of that. Let's try max range. Okay, on Ryu, the crouch jab is even more reliable. So, but against a lot of other characters, you really want to get the crouch light kick. This is what Justin Wong used to do. Stand light kick into crouch light kick. So, I mean, I don't want to get into other characters to show this to you guys, but you can try it for yourself, and you'll find a lot of situations where you want to link stand light kick into crouch light kick instead of stand jab. So, what else can I say about far light kick? It's still plus on block, but usually you'll often get this move if you hit a cross-up dive kick that's gonna put you a little too far. You're gonna get the far light kick, like on some characters with a lot of pushback. But more often than not, you're barely gonna see this button. All right, now onto the crouch jab. This button is very important because it has insane range. It chains into itself. It's a quick button, and it can chain, and you can also buffer it as to where it'll connect if your opponent presses something. See that? This button is really good in poke matchups and footsie matchups, like, I don't know, against Zangief for I don't know, Fei Long or Hugo, or all of these characters that throw normals. Bison, Vega. Like, you want to throw these out sometimes with a buffer. But the most important use case is how much you can extend your combos with this. See how many crouch jabs I did there? So it can allow you to confirm combos after a long time still. For example, you see that? I went low after the second crouch jab. And I could still do 2 crouch jabs after the crouch light kick. Meaning, let's say the dummy is blocking. And he gets hit by the crouch light kick here. Damn. You can get a confirm. So that's why this is very important. It allows you to convert off of a low from even the long ranges. So, and the crouch light kick, crouch jab is a chain too. So your opponent can't even mash in between. So that's a very important use case for this button. Now let me show you what I was talking about earlier with the buffers. I'll show a matchup where buffering with crouch jab is very important. For example, you know your opponent is pressing buttons. See that? I buffered it and because this move has an insane hitbox. You can probably even use it as a whiff punish due to how good its hitbox is. See that? It's an insane button. Like, its hitbox is insane. So the stand jab, you can also do the same thing, and the stand jab is even better because, I mean, it's not better, but it's a different kind of hitbox. So you're gonna want to use this for different normals and this for other normals. See, this one is not as good as crouch jab against Zangief's stand medium kick, but it could be better against some other moves, like, I don't know, maybe Bison heavy kick. You can throw this out, and this one is good because you can confirm, you can combo it into stand medium punch. See that? But yeah, you can use both of them as buffer, very important, so don't forget that. And stand jab is +4 on block, which is insane. It can combo on hit into stand medium punch, like that. As you can see also from the hitbox of this move, it hits a bit upwards, so you can probably also use it against dive kick characters to stuff them. Let's say you're playing against Yun, which is a pretty difficult matchup, and you need a really quick button to stuff the dive kicks. You can use this one. Well, let's see. See that? No risk. And as Rufus, when you get a reset in the air like this, it's pretty good because you can start your pressure. You dash forward and you pressure. See that? Oh yeah, very good for dive kicks and stuff like that. Now, close light punch is a bit of an awkward one because you're not gonna see this very often unless you're maybe, if you try to option select for a backdash like that, you're gonna get close jab. So let's have Yun backdash, for example. So that's a use case and you'll get close jab, but there's really no incentive to use close jab over stand light kick, but you will get it in certain situations when you try to option select an ultra. for his backdash, etc. Alright, now let's talk about medium punch. Let's talk about his crouch medium punch first. This is a really good anti-air. It's gonna be your main anti-air is Rufus, your most reliable one. So if someone jumps on you, bam, you hit him. And this is also, I think this is comboable. Yeah. Not many people know this, but you can combo off of this button. And this is also a good frame kill for certain setups, like that one, for example. But yeah, it's mainly gonna be your anti-air. Okay, so close medium punch is very interesting. So now we're gonna talk about some deeper stuff. First of all, this move combos. See that? There we go. It combos, but the interesting part about this move is that it's a medium button. And since it's a medium button, it means that it's easier to confirm, right? Because you have more hit stun, more time. Because this is hard to confirm. Like, how are you going to confirm this? But this, you can one-hit confirm. If it's blocked, you throw. If it's on hit, you combo. So this move is very good. But this is where things get interesting. So with Rufus, since Rufus can do instant dive kick after a normal, which will stuff crouch light kick crouch techs, people will crouch tech with medium punch, like this. So this will at the same time beat both the instant dive kick and it will crouch tech. And as Rufus, what you need to do in those situations is delay a button to counter that. Since those buttons they're going to be crouch teching with are going to be a bit slower, you can stuff that with a counter hit. So let me show you an example. Let's see what happens if I try instant dive kick. See that? See that? I can delay the crouch medium punch even more. Like that. And then, let's try throwing now. See how he teched? But if we do instant dive kick, we get stuffed. So against this is where we do close medium punch. You see that? So we gotta delay it to get the counter hit. And the cool thing about crouch medium, close medium punch counter hit is we can link into crouch medium kick, which is a lot more damage and stun. Look at the damage, 274 off of one counter hit. And you can get, if you have 3 meters, you can get this. You can use an FADC to get an even bigger conversion. So yeah, this move is very important. It's gonna be your main button to frame trap with. If you expect your opponent to crouch check with a medium or a heavy, so you wanna bam, and it's plus on block too, so it's not bad. You can do bam, dive kick, do another one. So yeah, very, very important button, this one. And it can also combo from close range. If you're a little further away, it might be a little trickier. See that? You can get this. So yeah, close medium punch. Now, let's talk about far medium punch. Far medium punch, first of all, look at the range. Insane range. In and of itself, it's a very nice poke. Like you're Rufus, you're chilling in the neutral, playing footsies, use this as a poke. But in Ultra, they buffed Rufus and they made it cancelable. Now you can combo off of it, which is really good. And against some characters, this move can hit crouching. Let me switch characters real quick. Look at how much you can extend. See that? This is insane and confirmable. So let's try and get a combo so I can show you. On a crouching opponent. So yeah. It's so good. It's such a good poke. It links off of stand jab. And it hits crouching characters for some of them. If they're a bit taller, on the taller side when they're crouching. And it has some insane pushback. Like, you can use this as a whiff punish. You can use this as a whiff punish. Let's say you're playing against the T-Hawk. And the T-Hawk whiffs a heavy kick. You can whiff punish it. But yeah, you can use it as a tool of whiff punish. That's what Justin uses this move to whiff punish a lot. Which is one of the reasons he's so good. Is he plays footsies really well and he plays the whiff punish game. So yeah, this button, very important. You can also stuff some dive kicks with it to some extent. But I would recommend doing this instead. Less risky. Far medium punch. Now, let's talk about medium kicks. So, crouch medium kick is a very important button. It links off of stand jab. It links off of stand jab too. Less damage than the stand medium punch combo. This is what the Rufuses were doing before they got the far medium punch buff. This combo right here. So now, like, this move does not have many good use cases outside of the counter hit combo after close medium punch, but it's really good for empty jumps, right? So let's say, for example, I'm doing a cross-up dive kick setup. Wait, let me change characters because you're not crossing up T-Hawk with a dive kick. That's a cross-up dive kick, right? But if your opponent is blocking cross-up, for example, you could go empty jump low. You could go crouch light kick, right? But sometimes you don't want to spend the meter, or you just want to go for something simpler where you don't need to do all of this. You can go immediately into crouch medium kick into tornado. Like this. This will combo from let me put the dummy on no block. Oh, why did my game close? What the fuck? Someone is like, nah, we don't want more Rufuses playing the game. Get out of here. Alright, so the setup I was doing was this. You get obviously the cross-up dive kick off of it, as you can see. But if your opponent blocks cross-up, you can establish the conditioning. Maybe this is character specific too. Might be character specific. Let me try on another character. There it is! Now I can show this better. A situation where you want to use crouch medium kick is so you do the target combo, then you get your cross-up dive kick, or you can go empty jump low. And get the combo, 4-hit combo. You see that? And the really good thing about this is against some characters, you can do it mid-screen, but that empty jump into low, into tornado will get you just close enough to the corner as to where you can combo with ultra. There we go. So, yeah, crouch medium kick, very good empty jump low button into tornado. So, yeah, crouch medium kick, good button for certain use cases. Yeah. Now onto the close medium kick. You can cancel both the first. Wait, you can't cancel the second hit? Yeah, it was the first hit. So you can't cancel the first hit. I don't think you're gonna be using this at all. The close medium kick is not a very good I think you can combo off of it. Maybe if you hit a focus with it. Yeah, let me show you. There we go. Come on, Phoenix. There we go. 3-hit combo. So sometimes if you see someone doing a focus and you don't know what to do, this conversion is not bad. Close medium kick into combo off of the counter hit, not bad. But outside of that, I don't recommend using this normal. But the far version is a really good poke for Rufus. Very long range. Like you can keep your opponent out with this. You're gonna be using this especially against grapplers that have a wide hurt box. You can hit him with it. Very important button. Now on to heavies. So this is very important. Close heavy punch. So this is gonna be your main combo off of crouch light kick like we discussed earlier. But you can also link it right away off of a low dive kick. See that? And this is especially gonna be useful if you do one of those cross-up dive kicks. Like that one. Let me put the dummy to no block. See that? Because sometimes when you hit the cross-up dive kick, there's too much pushback to combo with... Like against Cody, as you can see, the combo worked. But in some situation, you cannot combo a heavy punch after the crouch light kick. See that? That's why you do crouch light kick. So yeah, close heavy punch is also a very good anti-air. Like, let's say you're playing against a character that likes crossing you over, or tries to jump right above you. Then you can use that button. Let me, as an example, pick Guy. Bam! You can anti-air him. He can't cross you up. You hit him off of the air. And it's really good because the reason I really like this anti-air is that if your opponent is not close enough, it will automatically default to far heavy punch, which is also a good anti-air. So let's say you have a guy that likes to jump medium kick or sometimes mix things up with an elbow. You can still hit him off of the air. So this time I did a regular jump. Bam, we anti-aired him, right? Let's, off of the same jump, do an early elbow. Damn, we got the far heavy punch and still anti-aired him. You see? So it's such a good anti-air, the way this close heavy punch works. Alright, let me show you other things this cancels into. It also cancels into EX Messiah. So you can cancel close heavy punch into EX Messiah. And the same way I talked earlier about how you can use close medium punch as a frame trap and confirm into it. There's a better, higher risk, higher reward version. Instead of doing this, getting the counter hit and comboing into crouch jab or comboing into crouch medium kick, you can just do the close heavy punch. Let me put the dummy in all block. Let's record a crouch medium punch crouch tech. There we go. As you can see, it's a crouch tech because he teched. But if we do a heavy punch tornado, we can immediately get the counter hit into the tornado into ultra. See that? Because basically the way it works is if you get close medium punch and you want to confirm it, your best bet is to get a combo using meter. Like this, for example, or or another variation if you get a counter hit. But the advantage of this one is that you go immediately into Heavy Punch Tornado and you don't need meter to get a conversion. So let's say you're not too far away from the corner and you think your opponent is going to crouch tech. Bam. You do it immediately. You get the counter hit. And bam. You get the Ultra. And this is also good because it's not only useful for crouch techs, it's also useful for people that like jumping away. You see? They'll get hit off of their jump before they even get to jump. So yeah, very important. Now the far heavy punch. This is gonna be your main anti-air really. Like if someone jumps, you just do this. It's very good. It'll often trade, but at least it's reliable. Like this one is good, but it's not a lot of damage. But this one, it will hit further. It hits very far, and you can do some good damage off of it. Okay, now let's talk about Crouch Heavy Punch. So Crouch Heavy Punch is an insanely good normal. Like this means that Rufus is a threat anywhere on the screen, right? This is so good. So you can pressure your opponent from anywhere. Bam, bam. And it will allow you to punish moves from a really long range. For example, you're playing against a Honda that wants to build meter full screen. Nope, you're not going to build meter full screen. You can also punish moves from very far away. But one thing about this move is that it's minus 13 on block. If you're playing against a character, like even slow ultras that go full screen, like Abel's, for example, they'll be able to ultra you on block. So that's the drawback for such a good button. Let's put the dummy in all block. So I'm gonna block. I'm holding back. Bam, I still got hit because it's a clean punish. Despite how slow Abel's Ultra 1 is, we still got punished. So be careful with this button. And also, one thing this button does, it really makes your hurt box very weird. So if someone tries to focus dash through, like a grappler for example, tries to focus dash through it and punish you, it's not gonna work. Let me show you. I'm gonna make the dummy do a crouch heavy punch, and I'll try to focus dash through it and punish. See that? The hitbox is so weird that when you focus dash through it, he pulls back in a very weird way, as to where you cannot you can't SPD him, but you can focus dash and sweep it with T-Hawk, for example. But it's a one frame punish. There we go. But yeah, it's a very fun move. Alright, now let's move on to the kicks. So Rufus's sweep is very interesting. Let me check the frame data on it. 12 frame startup. Let me show you something. Let's put the dummy to jump and all block. Basically, Rufus's sweep is it's a 12 frame startup, which is pretty slow, but it's a really good sweep. Like a lot of people, they want to walk back away from Rufus, so you're gonna catch a lot of them walking back with this. And it's fairly safe. It's reasonably safe compared to other sweeps. Rufus's sweep is only -6 on block, so you can pretty much abuse it without repercussions. Like this sweep, insane sweep. And you can also juggle with it off of some situations, like after far heavy kick and get a setup. You can get some really nice setups off of it. You can get a cross-up dive kick like that. You can get some pressure. You can go empty jump low like I talked about earlier. You can go for a dive kick in the front by slightly delaying your... See, that one was in front, for example. You can go for an extremely late late dive kick to blow up a crouch tech. Like this. Because everybody, when they see you landing, they're gonna throw. But Rufus can do his dive kick so late, like he can do it right before landing, which makes the threat of empty jump throw even bigger. I'll try to do it as late as possible. See that? I was almost on the ground and it's unreactable. So yeah, the sweep allows for all that. You can get some nasty stuff off of it. So yeah, sweep. A very abusable move. Just watch out though, because your opponent can still focus dash through it and punish you. Or jump right before you do it. So yeah, be careful. It can also be used as an option select. If, for example, your opponent wants to backdash. There we go. We got the anti-backdash option select. But yeah, you get juggle off of far heavy kick, like I said. You get setups off of it. You can just use it to pressure. So a lot of people, they walk away from Rufus when he does his strings, like he will do this. You can just keep doing this to really force them to do, to not just walk away from you. So they either have to block forever, or they have to jump. If they jump, then you can chase them down with something if you get a pattern on your opponent. So Rufus can keep an Oki from extremely long range after his far jab, because you're always in a guessing situation against Rufus. If you walk back, he'll get swept. If you just sit there and block, he's gonna dive kick like that and get in. And if you try to jump away, he can chase you down with heavy kick. So it's so complicated to deal with his pressure. Even after a far jab like this, you're still in a guessing situation. And his sweep is so good that it's not easy to backdash. Let me show you. See that? It's very difficult. This button, really abuse it as a Rufus player. Okay, now, what's his closed heavy kick? This heavy kick is not very useful. Let me check the frame data on closed heavy kick, I mean. Yeah, it's 0 on hit. You're not going to be using this, but the only variation of this heavy kick you're going to be using is the target combo. I guess one thing you could do is fake a target combo. So target combo is -8, right? So if you target combo, it's -8. So you can get punished for it. And if you notice your opponent is punishing target combo on block with a move that's like 8 frames startup or something. Like let's say you're playing against, I don't know, character with a slow reversal. Then you can bait that reversal out by delaying between the target combo. And it's only -5 compared to -8. So you can bait something out and block it and punish them. Because it's very hard to notice. This is the target combo, and this is the regular. So you can definitely use that to bait your opponent. That's the only use case I can think of for this this move. Now, the far heavy kick, this move is insane. This move, probably one of Rufus's, if not his best normal, this move. So this move, you won't believe it. It has 2 active frames. On the first active frame, it's +2. And on the second active frame, it's +3. Which is mind-blowing. So this move is plus. Meaning you can pressure after it. And this move is also so good because it has no lower hurt box. So if you're playing against someone that likes doing lows, you can just throw it out and you will win. Let me show you an example of how broken this is. I'm gonna do with Ryu, crouch medium punch into crouch medium kick. See that? It whiffed under him. No lower hurt box this move. No lower hurt box. Broken. And guess what? You know what you can get after this? Let me show you. You can just ultra. And you know what's crazy with this move? I'm gonna show you something. You will not believe it. You will not believe it. I'm gonna have the dummy jump back. He's pretty far away from me, right? It's probably character specific, but basically, a lot of characters, they cannot jump away from this move. I kid you not, like, when I play with Rufus, you would be surprised at how many times I hit people off the air with this move. Another cool thing about this move is it can combo into, I think also EX Snake Strike. But this one depends on if it hits grounded or a bit in the air. But it can do some good damage. Like, let's say for example, I'm gonna have my opponent jump. And let's pretend I hit him while he was trying to jump away. Look at that damage. That's insane, chat. That's insane. So yeah, it's a very... If you catch someone airborne with this move, even mid-screen, you can get some insane damage with Snake Strike right after. But yeah, so to summarize this move, it crushes lows completely. No lower hurt box, even in melee range on startup. Plus on block, combo into Ultra, or juggle into EX Snake Strike if it hits airborne. It's insane. You can just abuse it. You can combo it into Sweep, or into Heavy Punch if you want corner carry. Like, this move is insane. So if you're playing against a character that really likes doing lows, just throw this out, you're good. Because you know why? Sometimes it will not punish the low properly. Like, a lot of characters, they can do the low and then block still, right? But a lot of characters, when they throw a low... For example, Ryu, if he throws a low, during his low, he will input a fireball. And you will catch them while they're doing their fireball input. Unless they really buffer it and then block. But this move will catch them. Okay, so Rufus also has some other special normals like this one. I'm pretty sure you can get some fancy setups with this. Like Yun can, maybe. Let's try. Yep, he can combo off of this, into Ultra. That's pretty good. But yeah, this move is... you don't want to just use it randomly in the neutral. Because, yeah. But in the corner, for example, if you get a back heavy kick, like a far heavy kick, I mean, you can increase your damage by juggling with forward heavy punch. Nice. It's great to hear. So, yeah. And even if you hit it grounded, you get a juggle. Ultra in the corner. You can also juggle into a dive kick for a reset. There's not much to add about this move, honestly. It's pretty good. Nah, honestly, outside of damage optimizations after far heavy punch, I don't see a reason to really use this button. Doesn't have much use case. If you want to use this in the neutral, use this one. Much better. The overhead is pretty quick. It's not bad. But it has 0 range. Look at this. And it's -4 on block and -1 on hit. So if you do this against grapplers, they will ultra you on hit. So you gotta be careful. That's why, honestly, if you want to get an overhead to kill someone at the end of the round, just do neutral jump, medium kick. At least this one is not reactable, but this one is a little reactable. And another move is this one. This move is so good because it allows Rufus to get in. It's a low from full screen. So it allows you to get in, and it is 0 on block. And if you get a counter hit, since it's +3 on hits, you can get a combo. See that? 2-hit combo. If you have 3 bars, like, you could get an ultra conversion off of just 1 counter hit. But since this is 0, it means your opponent cannot, on block, your opponent cannot press a button. You do this into throw, and they always have to respect your 0 frames, basically. Like this. They can't press a button, they'll get thrown. And if you land it on hit, and it can even be plus, I think. That's the thing with this move. It has 2 active frames. First active frame is 0, second active frame is +1. But since Rufus has no 3 frames, it doesn't make much of a difference. But if you hit it, you can instant dive kick. Because your opponent has to respect the 0 frames, and they have to throw. They have to throw, right? Meaning, if they throw, you can instantly dive kick. So they're immediately in a guessing situation, right? So, and if they're worried about the dive kick and they start pressing buttons or like they can always delay crouch tech, but yeah, if they're worried about the dive kick and they press buttons immediately or they try to check you, that's when you just throw them. Because it's 0. Okay, so Rufus's special moves. Let's start with his tornado. So the thing with this tornado is you're mostly gonna be using the heavy version. All of them are -1 on block. The EX one is -2, but the Galactic Tornadoes are -1 on block, meaning they're safe against most of the cast. And this move, you can either hold forward to go forward full speed, or you can hold back to stay in the same spot, or you can go forward and then stop. What this allows you to do is, if you did it on block and you're like, oh damn, it didn't connect, rather than being -1 in melee range, you can hold back during the animation to be a little further away than by holding it forward where you're gonna be in melee range. So yeah, but yeah, it's -1. And you can also use this move against fireballs. Let's say you really want to get in, and since it's a safe move, might as well use it. Bam, you predicted a fireball, and you're gonna use that as your way of getting in. Bam, you're in. It's over. So this is a very important move for that. And obviously, as you've already seen me do 200 times today, you can combo it into from heavy punch and crouch medium kick on some characters. Let me remove the counter hit. Yeah, stand light kick, close heavy punch, tornado. You can also FADC it with red focus. Like that. You can combo off of it into the corner with ultra. So on some characters, you can even do that combo mid-screen. Like for example, you're playing against a boxer and you land a tornado mid-screen, you can still connect the ultra. Yeah, there it is. It's a bit of a tricky timing, but you can definitely get ultra mid-screen on some characters like Boxer, which is huge, by the way. This is a meterless combo. You just need to ultra as early as possible. Do not delay it. So in the corner, you can also juggle a heavy Galactic Tornado with a light one for extra damage. And then you can also cancel the light one into super. Like that. Against some character, I think after this you can also... Yeah, Boxer is one of them. You can do a heavy Galactic Tornado, light Snake Strike. Let me try it. You can cut the tape. We can have the Rufus players in the dark for another decade. You should have been on the Discord and voted for another character. Like on the list we had Hugo, Blanca, Honda, and Rufus. And Rufus won the vote, so we might have a Rufus army after today. It's after EX Messiah. Against some characters you can get a big Snake Strike, a medium Snake Strike into Ultra for optimal damage, but after Tornado, basically, against some characters, you can, instead of going for this combo, which is 252, you can go for this one, which is 284, so it's more optimal. Now, let's talk about the EX version. This is the one where I have a lot of things to say. So, the EX, like we've seen multiple times, can combo off of both far medium punch, even jab, so basically it can combo off of anything. As you can see, it does good damage, good stun. Like this move does a solid 100 stun. Rufus's jabs do 50 stun. So this does 200 stun, by the way. Very nice. So the nice thing about EX Tornado is you can FADC it and get a conversion. For example, if you're close enough, you can get a level 2 focus. Like that. See, that was a 3-hit combo. But you can also, if you're, let's say, a little further away, you can get that from any range, it seems. If you want to be sure you're gonna hit it, you can just FADC and dash. But be aware that there's a gap. So the first part, if your opponent is not block it, they get sucked in and it's a pure punish. But if they do block it, they'll still get sucked in, but they can do something before the hit. So right before the move hits, there's a gap. So you gotta be careful about that. And it's -2, so some characters like Zangief can SPD you after that. And obviously in the corner, the same as the other tornadoes, you can ultra in the corner. And the same way as the other tornadoes, on some characters, even mid-screen. Zangief isn't one of them though, so... But yeah, you can combo after it. This is a very important move. You're gonna be using it a lot. Alright, now onto the Snake Strike. So there are different versions. They're gonna be used for juggles a lot of the time, but this is a really good wake up option, the light version, and I'm gonna explain why. So this move is airborne since frame 1, and on some tall characters it hits crouching. Let me show you why that matters. Let's say you're playing against Zangief and Zangief knocks you down and you don't want to have to get in the vortex. So what you can do is you can wake up with Snake Strike. Its first use case is that if your opponent tries to cross you up late, they can't. It prevents your opponent from jumping over you if they jump very late. like that. But at the same time, if they do jump early, it's a really good sacrifice hit button. Since it's airborne frame 1, it's either gonna win or trade. And if it loses flat out, like I'm gonna do it late, bam, I'm reset to neutral and I'm out. You see that? So you sacrifice a bit of damage to be reset airborne, and you don't have to guess. You don't have to guess anymore. That is insane. This is one of the best sacrifice hit mechanics in the game. You sacrifice one hit, you're out of there. And this is also really good, but because on some characters it can hit them even if they're crouching. Okay, Rufus, Geef is not one of them, but I think Hugo is one of them. Basically, if they get hit crouching, it's so plus that you're safe. And also, let's say Geef wants to go for an empty jump command grab, and you wake up with a light snake strike to sacrifice hit. See that? It will whiff it basically. You see how good of an option it is if it can cover both the jump hit button. You don't have to guess left, right, and all that. You can sacrifice hit, reset back to neutral. But you also get the fact that it beats the empty jump command grab. And if your opponent is crouching and waiting, it's also tricky to punish, honestly, for some characters. Because if they time their punish a bit weird and wake up, stand early, for example, with grapplers, if they try to SPD early, they'll get hit, right? So it's a very good sacrifice hit option. Yeah, very solid. The sacrifice hit, you gotta abuse it. Or if your opponent tries to jump over you like this very late, you can also punish them, anti-air them with this move on wake up. Now, let's talk on to about the EX version. The EX version is a really good anti-air, and it's what's gonna scare your opponents to death. Look at that, 210 damage. So much damage. And you can also get this move to connect after air-to-air heavy kick, which is an insane Rufus normal, by the way. I'll get into it later. Look at the damage. Like 1/3 of his health is gone. So EX Snake Strike, man, this move is insane for anti-air. It's a bit slow, and you gotta be early when doing it, or that will happen. But when it does connect, insane damage, and yeah, really gonna deter your opponents from jumping on you. Yeah, like I said earlier, after EX Messiah FADC, on some characters, you can get the medium version into Ultra, which does some really good damage. This works on big bodies and some other characters. And you see the damage. It hits 3 times. So on Hugo, you can get a big combo with Snake Strike, but only on Hugo sort of thing, which is pretty fun. Let me try to hit it at least once. Look at the damage on this. Oh my god. 665. I can't believe it. Look at that. Without the Ultra, 414. Can he combo with a jump into this? I comboed! So I need to hit both heavy kick hits very high. Oh my god! So this is a usable combo. Let's say you're chilling and Rufus whiffs an SPD. Hugo whiffs an SPD. You just absolutely destroy him. No, it's not even space dependent. So you see how After the second hit, Hugo leans backwards. So his hurt box is backwards, which means you're way too plus. So if you delay the target combo and then do the... See that? He's still early in his hit stun. But if you hit both of them very high like this, by the time you do the snake strike, his hurt box is already back a little. So the early part of the snake strike will connect. So here I'm gonna show it. See that? But if I hit deep, it's not gonna work because he's still. Ugh. But yeah, this is pretty cool. You hit it very high, and man, like this matchup is probably insanely good for Rufus, because I think you can hit him with a snake strike crouching. Yeah. Oh my god, nah. So remember when I was talking about the sacrifice hit tech? Against Hugo, he can't even crouch under it, and he gets comboed afterwards. So that means, like, let's say you're suspecting your opponent of churning. You do this. You jump in, and they block your jump. You do this immediately. So yeah, the snake strikes, as you can see, have many use cases. It's very solid move. We went over Tornado, we went over Snake Strike. Now we're gonna talk about Messiah. This is where things are gonna get a little tricky. So Messiah, he has 4 variations, and depending on which one you use, it goes further. So it's basically a kick. None of them are invincible. But they have follow-ups, right? So you have the no follow-up version. You do nothing. It's usually safe, unsafe, even on hits. Then you have the light kick follow-up, which is gonna be your usual follow-up, because it's the only one that combos, as you can see. You can also FADC it. You also have now the unsafe follow-ups. I mean, they're safe as well, but the ones that don't combo after this. So if you do this and your opponent blocked it and you want to make it safe, you could either go for the low, which is a crouch medium kick, or you can go for the overhead, which is heavy kick. And both of them are relatively safe. Let me pull up the frame data. So the low and the overhead is -3. So if Ryu does this, look, with the pushback, there's no 3 frame that can punish it from there. Same goes for the overhead. The pushback is very, very good. Now, where this is gonna be interesting is that any character has a different option to punish each different Rufus option. For example, I mean, some have options that can cover everything, like Ken, for example. But a lot of characters, they'll have to make a guess. Let me pick Rolento to illustrate that. I'm gonna put the dummy in all block, and I'm gonna do EX Messiah, and I'm gonna record Rolento different punish options. I'm gonna do Ultra first. And the nice thing with Ultra is that it'll punish me if I don't do anything. It'll punish me if I do the light kick follow-up. If I delay it, I mean. There we go. It'll punish me if I do the overhead. But if I, the low, but if I do the overhead, I win. You see that? If I do the overhead, I win. So he has to guess. So as you can see, the overhead punished the Ultra, right? Now let's try another option with Rolento. So if Rolento predicts either an overhead or a low, I get punished. But then if I do this, it's armor break, right? And I can also do nothing and grab him. Like that, as you can see. Or do nothing into another one. Or do nothing, and if he's focusing, I do ultra, which is a checkmate situation. But yeah, basically where I'm getting at with all of this is that most characters, to get an optimal punish, they will have to guess what to do, right? So that means that it's technically not really unsafe on block, if you look at it. Let's say someone is pressuring you, and you EX Messiah on wake up. They still have to guess. Right? They still have to guess. And also, another thing about this move is that it's very slow. So it can be meatied, which is one of Rufus's biggest weaknesses. All right, so let's have Ryu do a meaty jab. Let's demonstrate that it's a real meaty. See, that hit me. And now I'm gonna wake up with the X-Messiah. See? He managed to block it. That's the biggest weakness of this move. So if you have a good light button that recovers quickly, you can meaty Rufus. That's very strong. So you can safely pressure him, sort of. Also, another interesting fact that I need to mention about Rufus. I don't have enough for an FADC, right? But Rufus's follow-ups, they build meter. See that? So, let's say I put the infinite. I put it to max start. And I build meter again. Okay, so here, I don't have the FADC bar, right? Like right here. But the light kick follow-up, which is the invincible one, will build enough meter. So a lot of Rufus players, the really good ones, they will try to catch you off guard with this. You usually want to be scared of Rufus when he has 3 bars of meter, right? But when he has almost 3, he's also dangerous, because he can build that 3rd bar of meter. Of course, EX Messiah can be comboed into. Like, let's say you do close heavy punch. You can do that. Another setup I really like with Rufus is, for example, you do a sweep and you do a late dive kick, right? You do a micro walk, delayed dive kick, and it's in front, right? This one is in front, right? So they have to block it in front. This one, right? But you can also do empty jump, land behind them, go crouch slide kick into EX Messiah. This is a tech I've seen a lot of good Rufus players use. Bam. And you can get a conversion. So you have this to stay in the front. Or you can go empty jump low into EX Messiah. I mean, of course, you can also do this, right? Like go into a regular combo. But a lot of Rufuses, they just go into crouch slide kick, EX Messiah. I've seen Justin Wong do this. So typically Rufus then will have 3 mix-ups here. He will have the delayed dive kick in the front, the empty jump low, or the empty jump throw. So it's such a layered mix-up he can have here. Let's say you have 3 meters. You could go for this. Let's see the damage here. 279. But if you're guaranteed the crouch slide kick is going to connect, and you do this, and it's a situation where you know it's going to kill, like, I honestly think this is very good. No, I'm just displaying every use case you can have for EX Messiah. Like, I think it's interesting for them to know that they can combo from crouch light kick into EX Messiah. Because it can be useful, basically. It's a very situational use, but I think it's not a bad one. The consequences, if you guess wrong, doesn't invalidate how valuable it can be if it works, basically. Because like this right here, like it's a lot of damage off of a situation where there's too much for Ryu to worry about here. The dive kick in the front, the empty jump throw, the empty jump into another dive kick. So the cross up empty jump low is like, I think it's really, really strong in this situation. Let's say your opponent, it's last round in a game, and your opponent gets an opening, and you get an opening on your opponent, and you're confident the crouch light kick is gonna connect, and you have 3 bars. A scared mind will think, okay, I'm pretty sure my crouch light kick will connect, but just in case it doesn't, I'm gonna go for a confirm so I can save the meter just in case if it doesn't connect. But I, on the other hand, think, okay, I have 3 meters. If I'm convinced it's gonna work, I think going for the high damage conversion that will kill and risk losing the FADC meter if it's blocked is very much worth it. It's good to know both options. But obviously, if it's like second round, you lost the first round, and you get you want to go for empty jump light kick, then of course you're not gonna spend the meter. So yeah, that's another use case for the EX Messiah. And they buffed this move where now even if it hits airborne, you can still get the follow-up in a lot of cases, which is pretty good. Yeah, like if you get a read on a fireball, you can punish it. So that's pretty good. And also even in the neutral, like your opponent is chilling, you want to check them. That's it for the EX Messiah. Now let's talk about some of his aerial normals. Off of his neutral jumps, he has this one, neutral jump heavy kick. This is what you're gonna use on the stun combos. Good stun, good damage, 110. This is only 100, so you want to use neutral jump heavy kick. Because let's see what happens when you use focus. So in total, 324 for 465 stun. So this is 326 for 520 stun. So this is less stun. I mean, if it's a stun combo, it won't matter. But sometimes you'll play against a character whose DPs you can punish with a neutral jump. So you want to do a neutral jump heavy kick instead of focus. Even if you get the level, even if hypothetically you can get the level 3. But yeah, focus combo does slightly more damage. But if you, the longer the conversion, like let's try the ultra combo. So this is gonna do 559 with the neutral jump heavy kick, but with the focus, see, 534. So the scaling is, down the line is gonna be bigger if you start your combo with a focus. So get into the habit of doing neutral jump heavy kick. It's better. Now this button is very good. It hits very high. If someone's trying to get out of the corner, you can check them with this neutral jump medium punch. Or you can do the Brent special. If you're playing offline, you can you can neutral jump and smash this button to make your opponent think you're gonna jump in on them. And this move always whiffs. So you can do the bam and then throw them. That's the Brent tech. These normals are not very useful. Let me see if it hits both sides. Yep, it hits both sides. So this move is good if you wanna... If you're jumping a bit late and your opponent can dash under you, and you wanna make sure you can still hit them on your way down so you're not in a mix, you can use this one. But yeah, the neutral jump medium punch, only use that if you're playing offline in California, because you'll need the offline mind games. All right, now on to the far jumps. The diagonal ones. So this is gonna be your retreat button. Back jump jab. Very good retreat button. But if you really want to air to air with Rufus, you always want to jump forward with heavy kick, because then you'll get a juggle. This move is so insane, because if you have good air to air reactions, you can get so much value off of this. You can get EX Snake Strike, or you can get even an Ultra. So yeah, and another thing about this jump forward heavy kick is basically when people knock Rufus down, a lot of them, to get a heavy punish, they will try to jump back and get a heavy punish on the Messiah without endangering themselves. See? They want to get a big punish. Well, if you predict that with Rufus, bam. You can't... You can even react to their jump back. Look at how late I'm gonna do it. See how strong this move is? Very strong. So you can punish jump backs with this. If you predict your opponent is gonna be scared of EX Messiah and he's one of those players that likes jumping back, you can chase it down. Also, sometimes this move will only hit once. Honestly, if you've been like the people that have been following or are watching the video on YouTube since the start, they can, with all the discussions over Rufus's tools, they can already make for themselves an idea of how the character is placed. I like to structure it so that the pieces of the puzzle, they come in together over time. Yo, Lucan, what's the situation where you hit one hit and then you can get another 2 hits? And then the EX Messiah. Oh, there it is. I feel like it has to be counter hit. Yeah, I can't make it happen right now. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, it's because it was the neutral jump. Okay, so it's the first hit. It's the first hit that has to connect. So if the first hit connects on a diagonal jump, you can get another double air heavy kick. Oh, you can also juggle with the EX Messiah, like this. Thank you, Lucan. That's a pretty good one. On some characters, this jump heavy kick is a good jump in button. You can also jump in with this button on small characters, because the reason why this is good is because sometimes as soon as players see Rufus jumping forward, their first instinct is to jump back with the button to get out of there. And by jumping in with this button instead of a dive kick, you can both cover for the jump back and for the if they block. So let me show you. For example, I'm Ryu and I see Rufus jumping towards me and I want to get out of there. And I delay and I press heavy kick. Bam. It will catch him trying to jump back. This is even better against tall characters because this will automatically hit twice. So that's another good use case for this button. Oh, also this one is a very important button. This is if you do neutral jump medium kick, it's an instant overhead. So it doesn't work right now because Ryu is a bit small, but I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna hold blocking. And if I want to chip him out, for example, bam. See how it hit him? If you wait, it's not gonna work. You gotta hit that standing frame. Oh, there it is. I have to delay it so much. But yeah, against characters that are a bit taller, it's much easier to do. That's why you only do this if you're sure you're gonna kill. It's extremely punishable on hit, so be careful with this. If you're not gonna kill with it, it's best to use this one. But this move is a meme move, because look at Rufus's this overhead. It does 60 damage and it's -1 on hit, -4 on block, and it has 0 range. Oh yeah, this button is very important. This is a really good button because it allows you to jump in from extremely far away. Like, look, I'm practically full screen and it will still connect. So against fireball characters, or if you want to surprise your opponent from far away, use a jump heavy punch. All right, now I'm gonna talk about the most important Rufus move, his dive kick. So Rufus can do a dive kick whether he jumps back, neutral jumps, or forward jumps. Like the twins, for example, they cannot dive kick off of back jumps. Only Rufus can. So for example, the back jump dive kick, it'll always whiff on your opponent. So that's the one you're gonna want to use if you want a fake dive kick into a throw. And the neutral jump one if you want to connect. Forward one as well is good. This dive kick, it can be extremely plus on block. So this dive kick can be so plus on block sometimes, depending on the height at which you do it, that it's gonna be a block string if you do a crouch light kick. That's how strong this dive kick is. Look at how low to the ground you can do it. This is what Rufus's whole gameplay is gonna be built around, your dive kick. Because this dive kick, it's gonna blow up your opponent's crouch tech. So for example, if you're a Rufus and you wanna do stand light kick and throw your opponent, they're gonna think twice before doing so. And also, for that reason, since it's so scary to crouch tech against Rufus, they made his forward throw stronger. See that 120 stun and 135 damage on the regular throw? The back throw, oh damn, the back throw has even more stun. So his back throw does 160 stun with 130 damage, but his forward throw does slightly more damage with less stun. But you get an Oki after, you get a setup afterwards. So you'll have to choose whether you want to stun your opponent. If you're close to stun, you do back throw. If you're trying to get some damage, you do this one. But yeah, Rufus's throws are pretty strong compared to other characters. Because you gotta they had to incentivize people to crouch tech against Rufus, to tech their throws, or otherwise people will never tech. But with these perks, with the throws, makes it that not teching against Rufus all the time is also dangerous. So Rufus can do it at anywhere in the air. Like he can do it even extremely late on landing, like that. And he can, since he's so plus, he can do dive kick into another dive kick. If you block the dive kick and you think he's gonna throw you, be careful, because he can do another one and another one and another one. It's very, very strong. So one thing, like I mentioned earlier, people can do to deal with Rufus's instant dive kick pressure is they can crouch tech with a button. But that's when you can either delay your dive kick to not get hit by that button, or you can delay a button. Like delay either a close medium punch to counter hit them, since the button they're gonna attack with is a bit slower. Or you can do a close heavy punch for a counter hit. Rufus has options against any defensive situation. So when you pressure with a dive kick and you think your opponent is gonna backdash immediately, you can either have a bigger angle for your second dive kick, like this, so that even if they backdash, it covers for both the crouch tech and it covers for their backdash, this option. So, for example, after a throw, if you do dash forward and empty jump, you're safe, right? But you can go empty jump throw, like that. Or you can go empty jump, delayed dive kick, and it's gonna connect. See that? So people think twice before stand teching against Rufus. And that means they have to crouch tech, and that means you can go empty jump low. Even though in this setup, you can pretty much empty jump low since it's a meaty, so... But there are other setups, for example, where... let's say the back throw. So this is a safe jump on some characters, but if you empty jump, you should be relatively safe. And even if you're not safe, you can always make your jump safe by doing an early dive kick. And this is very important because in the neutral, you're going to want a dive kick, right? But for example, let's say you play against a character that has a DP. You really want to be careful with your dive kicks and feint them. Overwhelm him. Try to bait a DP out, and then you throw the dive kicks out. Gotta mix things up well. Okay, here's a good knockdown where I can show what I was talking about earlier. So after Tornado, after this setup, basically, since my button will hit, if I go empty jump low, my opponent can stand throw me. And a lot of players are good at that. They will block the safe jump and then stand tech immediately, and it will cover for both the safe jump and the empty jump low. But Rufus can beat that by doing an extremely late dive kick, which will keep him in the air longer, and this will beat the stand tech. So they're not gonna stand tech willy-nilly. And that opens up the empty jump low, even in a situation where you can't get stand thrown, right? You can also empty jump throw because of the threat of hit them stand teching. You can press a button. You can bait a reversal. Let's say you're playing against a Sagat that has 2 bars and he wants to DP FADC backdash to be safe. Bam, you just bait it out by ending your jump early with a dive kick. So Rufus's dive kick can also hit cross up, like I mentioned earlier on some setups. For example, that was a cross up dive kick. You gotta practice the timing. That one was a cross up. He can do them after sweep. He can do them after EX Messiah. That one was in front, actually. That one was a cross up. Even if your opponent doesn't quick rise, you can frame kill with a crouch jab. And still get the... that one was in front. That one was a cross up. So Rufus doesn't care much about quick rise. If you study your frame kill, you can get another setup right after. So yeah, with Rufus, don't forget about the throw. The throw is very important. If you don't condition your opponent, you're not gonna land many dive kicks from in close range. Alright, so there's another setup I want to talk about involving dive kicks. Rufus does have a cross up on a lot of characters. One I know of, for example, is T-Hawk. So all you have to do is regular throw, double dash, and jump medium kick, right? And it will cross up. There it is. That's a cross up. But the mix is double dash. You can double dash. Do an early dive kick. So it's a very difficult thing to deal with. But I don't know how plus that dive kick can be if it's blocked, but... Or what else? Something else you could do is double dive kick, instant dive kick into another dive kick to blow up the crouch tech. Or you can do empty dive kick throw. You can do a late one like this. So yeah, you can either cross up. The cross up is very good. You can get close heavy punch off of it. There you go, 5-hit combo. Or you can do the dive kick and stay in front. And there are a lot of mix-ups like that with Rufus against characters where he can get a cross-up. For example, against T-Hawk, since he can get a cross-up, he can do this and do a delayed dive kick to land in the front. But yeah, in the corner it's very tricky. So you gotta identify on which character you can do a cross-up and work on setups. There it is. I think this is the better setup. So this dive kick hits in the front. Because let's put the dummy on block. You're gonna notice Rufus is gonna land right back in the front. Maybe it's in the other corner that he lands in the front. See that? There are two different corners in this game, and each of them does something different. So basically the way it works, you either go for the cross-up, or if your opponent delay wake-ups, then you delay for a dive kick, and then you can combo off the dive kick. With big characters at least. Big characters though. See? Then the dive kicks the dive kick becomes comboable. See how I landed in the front? And then, since the delayed dive kick is a problem, that lands in the front, if you delay wake up, you can get an empty jump low as well. Which is also insane. So yeah, Rufus is all about playing around your opponent's crouch tech. Since they can't really stand tech against Rufus, you can empty jump throw, it's gonna work. Empty jump delay, empty jump cross up on the characters on who it works. So honestly, there are many ways to pressure with Rufus. Like, you just gotta be able to identify your opponent's defensive patterns. Some people will immediately jump away with a button, which is a good defensive option. Like a jump back button crouch tech. So they will block your button and crouch tech while jumping back and hitting a button. It's no longer a crouch tech, but it's a jump tech. This is very strong against Rufus. You can blow this up by... For example, if you notice your opponent's doing that, you delay a low. You can punish that. Or you can delay a heavy button. If you notice your opponent is just crouch teching with crouch light kick, you just do instant dive kick. It'll punish that crouch light kick. If you notice your opponent likes to crouch tech with a button to beat the instant dive kick, then you delay buttons, or you delay your dive kick timing to catch that button. If your opponent likes backdashing a lot, then you look at which moment they like to backdash. If it's on wake up, you gotta make your dive kick angle better. So fishing for cross-up dive kicks, for example, is a good way to catch backdashes with the dive kick. If your opponent likes backdashing after a blocked dive kick, you can either option select a sweep. For example, you dive kick, you go immediately into a low. So let me show you what it looks like if they try to backdash after a dive kick. Bam! We caught the backdash with the option select. You can also ultra option select. So you gotta not mess it up. To explain how anti-Bagadash ultras work is you have the chain cancelable window. For example, when you do crouch jab, crouch jab, crouch jab, crouch jab, this is the chain cancelable window. And what happens if you do stand like kick, crouch jab, ultra, and you press the button for you press the 3 punches during the chain cancelable window, the chain will take priority over the ultra, right? So the ultra will not come out. But you can't chain on whiff, right? So if you do crouch jab ultra in that same window and the crouch jab did not connect, you'll get the ultra. And since backdashes are invincible, that first crouch jab whiffs and the ultra comes out. See? I'm doing ultra right now and it's not coming out, but if it's on whiff, it's gonna come out. It's very important. If your opponent likes backdashing, like let's say you sweep them and you predict a backdash, you can use the ultra option select. So I predict my opponent is gonna backdash. See? You can do that on their wake up, and if they backdash, they're gonna get hit. Just don't do this against characters who have a backdash that's very strong, because your ultra is gonna whiff. See, there I tried doing it from a little too far, it didn't work. So make sure to get in there, get close. So another way to deal with backdash is, see how I did a wide dive kick? You can do this. You can option select to sweep. Sweep is good because it's low risk and you get a good setup afterwards. Or if you want to guess from max range and you don't want to get in there, for example, you're playing against a grappler and they like backdashing, you delay a crouch heavy punch. It's going to catch them. That's the main problems you're going to encounter as Rufus. The jump techers, you're going to encounter the crouch medium punch techers, for example. You're gonna encounter the backdashers, so it's important to know which option to use against each scenario if you have a read on it. Now I need to mention the ultra, obviously. I mean, I talked about it so many times already. Like, you can link it off of a jump in like this. If you jump over a fireball and you don't have the resources to combo, or he's too far away, then it's good to just go into ultra straight away. You can combo it off of EX Messiah, FADC. You can even get a juggle on T-Hawk. You can combo it off of a jump heavy kick air to air. If your opponent is likes focusing, and you get a clean jump in, let's say they're focus backdashing. Some people, when they see you jump in, they try to focus backdash. As soon as you land with a button in their focus, you can ultra to punish that. Because with Rufus, a lot of people will try to focus your dive kicks. Because focusing dive kicks is one way to punish them. Some people like focusing dive kicks, so if you get a jump in on a focus, just ultra immediately or EX Messiah. So another good pressure idea I really like doing, but I don't know if it's a good idea per se, but it has been working out amazingly for me, is just using the far heavy kick during my pressure. Because a lot of people will block 1 or 2 moves, 1 or 2 buttons, and they'll mash lows. So you can get them with this. Let's take T-Hawk for example. A lot of T-Hawks like doing lows, crouch medium kick, but by doing crouch jab into far heavy kick, bam. It's gonna make the button completely whiff. See that? When I play T-Hawk, I mash DP? That's true. I really think that if you learn the combos and apply this pressure, and you start learning and apply all of these tips, you're already a problem. So keep up the pressure. Oh yeah, that's true. Before even starting your pressure, I guess you gotta get in, right? And there are not many ways to get in as Rufus, which is one of the things he struggles at. You can either jump in, but you're gonna get anti-air, right? But anti-air Rufus is risky because he can cancel his... he can dive kick early and bait an anti-air. So I guess I still gotta count jumping in as one of his main ways of getting in, because the threat of the dive kick bait is too strong. You can also get in by doing this, the diagonal crouching forward medium kick. Like, this is 0 on block, and it will allow you to get in. And then your opponent, being at 0, is going to be forced to either stand tech or reversal, or one way or another you're in. And if this hits on hit, you're +3, so... And it's a full screen low. It's like a full screen low, so you can get in from pretty far. And if it hits and you're at +3, then you're in for sure. That means you're in. Like, you do this, crouch jab, dive kick, or this, crouch jab, walk forward, throw. So against fireball characters, like I discussed earlier, if you predict a fireball, you can get a knockdown by doing a heavy messiah to blow the fireball up and get in, get a knockdown. You can also get in by getting a lucky sweep, the classic, or through a buffer into EX messiah, connecting. Like, let's say you're buffering against T-Hawk, crouch jab into EX tornado, and one of them connects and you get a knockdown, then you can get in. Also, one important thing that I forgot to mention about the dive kick is that you can also use it defensively. Let's say you know your opponent is going to throw you on your wake up. You can wake up with an instant dive kick and heavily punish them. That's very important. There you have it. Honestly, Rufus is an easy character, I think. I'm not saying his matchups are easy, but like, to get the understanding of the character, he's not a hard character. But some of his matchups are very difficult, and he's a one-dimensional character, so making him work at a higher level is not easy at all. So you're gonna have to be very knowledgeable of his character-specific setups, his dive kick setups, his jump setups. So yeah, easy character to pilot per se, but not an easy character to win with necessarily. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the guide. Love you all. Peace.